You wait until dad gets home. Have you ever said that? You might be thinking that you are parenting and you are putting up your husband as the authority figure. But I'm sorry to say, what you were really doing was actually disrespecting him. And that is just one of the subtle ways that we sometimes disrespect our husband without meaning to. Respect is a language, and we wives were never taught to speak that language. But today I want to share 11 powerful ways that you can show respect to your husband. And some of them may even sting. You'll recognize yourself in them. And trust me, I did too, even when I was writing this. But they are not here to shame you. They are here to teach you. And before we get into them, if you are new here, my name is Julie, and I love to encourage and help wives restore their marriages and create a joyful marriage by teaching you the things that I have learned from being married for over a decade. If that's something that you're interested in, I would love to invite you to press that like and subscribe button. So the first one that I have on the list is respect his time. And by this, I mean be ready on time. If you're not, that is part of disrespecting your husband, disrespecting his time. Now, I know as a wife, we can easily fall into the lie and into the trap of we have to do everything. We have to get the kids ready, we have to get ourselves ready, and sometimes we even have to get the dog ready or make sure the dog is taken care of. And we justify the fact that we are late because we have to do everything. And I get that. But the fact and the truth is, not being ready on time is disrespectful. So things that you can do to avoid this is ask your husband for the specific time that you guys have to leave. And start earlier with getting everyone ready. Your kids, yourself, including the dog. If you notice that you are running late and you are running out of time, ask for help, because at the end of the day, we are still a team with our husbands. So maybe you can ask him to get the one kid ready while you get the other kid ready. Or if there's something that you notice that still needs to get done, ask him to help. You can also tell him that I still need to do this, this, and this, and then I will be finished and I will be ready. So then he knows what you still have to get done, and he knows the time to expect that you will be finished. But very important, after you've gave him that list, do not add to the list, because you've set an expectation, and if you don't make that expectation, it will probably aggravate him. The next one is trust his decisions. Naturally, we wives always want to control. It is our sinful nature to always wanting to control. Because we know as biblical wives that our husbands should be the leaders. How would you feel if you have ideas, knowing that you are the leader and you share them with your spouse, but it's constantly second guessed? I think you will probably end up not sharing. And a husband that does not share, it deeply grieves a wife. And we end up wondering, why doesn't our husband share with us? And it also directly communicates that you don't trust his leadership. When you resist the urge to not second guess, not control, or even to micromanage, you create the space for him to take up his leadership and to step into his leadership. Trusting your husband helps him rise to the occasion. A husband thrives if they know that their wife is confident in them and in their leadership. If this resonated with you and you want to learn how to step into the role of a wife that brings peace, joy, and closeness back into your marriage, I want to invite you to my free webinar, Creating a Joyful Marriage. I'll teach you the mind shifts and the heart changes that creates big transformation within your marriage. I put the link in the description down below for you to have access to. The next one is, don't put fear of your husband in your kids. One of the most harmful things a wife can do is actually put fear in their kids or make their husbands the bad guy in parenting. Saying things like, wait until dad gets home. If your dad finds out about this, These are all things that put fear in our kids for their fathers. This teaches your child that their father is someone that they need to be scared of and that they need to fear, instead of someone that they needed to be guided by and protected by. A respectful wife protects her husband's image even in the eyes of their children. She presents him as a loving authority, a wise leader, and someone that the kids can turn to, not someone that they dread. This also protects the bond between your husband and your children. It also strengthens your unity in parenting in front of the kids. The next one is listen without interrupting. Don't let him feel that he's speaking in a courtroom. If he shares his ideas with you, even if you disagree or you are eager to respond, try to just listen. Give him the floor without correcting, defending, or even just jumping in. Because active listening shows that you value his opinion and you want to understand him. Not just with an argument or thinking that you have the better idea. And in a world that so many men feel unheard and dismissed, your ability to listen patiently becomes a powerful act of honor. The next one is appreciate what he does. Sometimes we get so used to what our husband is doing that we stop noticing it. But appreciation is one of the most powerful forms of respect. A simple thank you for taking out the trash or fixing something shows that you value him. And I want to highlight this next one. Telling him that you appreciate him for taking care of the family and working hard for the family will skyrocket his love for you, because you are complimenting him on something that he has a strong will to do and a strong will to succeed in taking care of his family. And sometimes, most of the times, our husbands can feel that they are falling short, that they are not succeeding. Therefore, it's important to remind him that he is not. He is succeeding. Men carry silent pressure and responsibility for taking care of their families. The success of their families relies on their shoulders. When you sometimes just pause and tell him that you see his effort, you appreciate his effort, you see that he is successful in taking care of his family, it just lightens his load. Your gratitude doesn't just validate his actions, it validates his role in your life. It validates his role in the family, and that is deeply meaningful. Which gets me to the next one. Support his dreams and his goals. Every man wants to know that his wife believes in him. Supporting his dreams, even if it's starting a new business, changing careers, or even just pursuing a hobby, shows that you invest in who he is becoming. Even if his dream seems far off or impractical, it doesn't matter. Your support is what matters. Ask questions, get excited, and encourage him when he feels discouraged. You don't have to carry the dream for him, but you need to be his biggest cheerleader. When you support his passions, you respect not just what he does, but who he is. The next one I have on my list is let him lead. Leadership doesn't mean domination. It means responsibility. It means that he is accountable to protect, provide, and care for you and the family. And that is a big responsibility. When you step back and you let him lead, you are communicating, I trust you to take care of me, and I trust you to take care of this family. And that trust allows him to step into the God-given role that he has given. And it also frees you to rest in your femininity. Letting him lead doesn't make you smaller, it makes the partnership stronger. It is an act of trust and respect. Remember, I just spoke about how serious men take this responsibility. Sometimes leading a family, being the leader, can even feel like a burden to them. And when you are trying to micromanage, control, or lead, it only makes it harder for them. Wives are called to support their husbands, to help and uphold them. If you focus on your role, your husband will be able to lead better. The next one is speak well of him to others. When others hear you speak of your husband, what impression do they get? Does your words pull him up or tear him down? Speaking well of your husband in front of others is the most public form of respect. It means that you are protecting his image and not airing all his weaknesses, but rather choosing to highlight his strengths. And when you speak with admiration and love, it also reminds you of what's good. Your words have the power to shape his confidence. The next one is ask for his advice. Now, I don't mean ask his advice on everything, because either you can become irritating or he can regard you as someone that's not confident. But when you ask your husband for advice on bigger things, it shows that you value his opinion and his wisdom. It communicates that I trust your judgment and I want your inputs. So when it's a decision about your kids, or maybe even something personal, asking him makes him feel needed and respected. It builds teamwork. And you can even look at it in a sense of you are inviting him to lead. And when a man feels that his voice is welcomed, he becomes more present and engaged. The next one is speak kindly and thoughtfully, because words carry weight, especially in marriage. Speaking kindly and thoughtfully to your husband shows that you care about his heart and his feelings. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't express frustration. How you express it, how you say the things, that matters. Avoid sarcasm, avoid harsh tones, and avoid passive-aggressive comments. Instead, choose words that affirm and uplifts. When you consistently speak with grace, even when you are upset, you create an atmosphere where your husband will feel respected. Kindness is not weakness, it's strength under control. Okay, the next one is be considerate. Being considerate is one of the most beautiful expressions of respect. It really just communicates that you notice the things that he likes and enjoys, and you are willing to put effort into it. So it's really found in the small little moments. Making sure the home is peaceful when you know he had a long day. Making coffee the way that you know he likes it. Or asking him before you make plans because you know it affects both of you. Consideration is basically thinking ahead. How will this affect him? Will this hurt his feelings? Is this the right moment to bring something up? When you live with that thoughtfulness, you create an environment of care. You matter enough to me to think of you first. Okay, the last one I have on my list. Avoid criticizing him in public. Never belittle or correct him in front of others. If something needs to be addressed, do it privately and lovingly. So maybe some of these points hit close to home. Maybe you saw yourself in more than one, and that is okay. We are all learning, and when we know better, we can do better. Respect isn't just about what we say or do. It's also about the posture of our hearts towards our husbands. And when that changes, everything else will fall into place. If this resonated with you and you want to go deeper, if you're ready to become the woman who builds her marriage with wisdom, grace, and strength, then again, I would love to invite you to my free webinar of Creating a Joyful Marriage, where I take you through steps of letting go of resentment, where I teach you to ask your husband to fill your needs respectfully. I put the link in the description down below for you to have access to. And just a quick reminder, you have the power to set the tone for your marriage. It only takes one person to start to change, and that person might be you. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with another wife who might need this encouragement today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.